well, I'm going to start by asking you a question I'm sure no one has asked you yet. How do you approach playing the President of the United States of America?
Well, because we're so intimately knowledgeable and we see the president all the time, on the 24-hour news cycles, we pretty much know how he stands at the podium and all that sort of stuff. So really, I just investigated and focused on what I think is the ideal president. What are the characteristics and the traits and the virtues? What value system does he have? Honesty, truthfulness, compassion, all that sort of stuff. I wanted, in the short time that I was playing the president under ordinary circumstances in this movie and not under duress, I wanted it to at least him to exude the characteristics of what my ideal president would be.
And did you find it quite tough to kind of humanise him? Because as you said, the president we do see is the one on the TV, and we don't see him kind of just at home with Michelle, for example.
Well, yeah, I think so. What's not a show? He's got. There's a lot of family issues in this movie with the wife. What happens to the wife and being, separated from his child. How do you have a child as a president? And then my wife is, tragically lost in this film. So what was my child's life like after that? I mean, the film really is about Jerry's character, the unsung heroes, are protecting the president and protecting us all. But there were glimpses into the president's life.
And you do play him as a very quite youthful, very ordinary man. I was wondering if there was any particular president you kind of based him on.
Well, Antoine talked about JFK, that youthfulness, this sort of Camelot-esqueness about the President Asher, the vitality, being able to box, being physical, because he wanted to counterbalance the film with Jerry's, his efforts and his athleticism and what he's doing on this one side, and counterbalancing that with a president who the audience thinks can take care of himself physically.
And the script is fantastic. It's got some really great kind of memorable one-liners. I was wondering is it one of those scripts that you just received and just instantly thought, yeah, this is something I want to do?
Well, it was the script, but mostly it was about Antoine Fuqua. Any script in his hands, I think, is going to rise to a certain level. So I really am a big fan of his. And then, he got great actors in the movie. So, and then, all the one-liners are probably Jerry, shooting the shit and just, making them up.
So, I mean, just because obviously what you can't tell from the script is how well the action scenes are going to turn out. But and as someone who, because you're kind of tied up in a bunker, you didn't get to do too many action scenes. So when you watched the film, did it kind of surprise you just how well choreographed they were and how kind of big it all looked?
Yeah, I kind of knew because I had trust in our DP and all that sort of stuff. But it's always good to see, because you're working with the facade of the White House. You're not working with the whole thing. You're working with green screen. So all these elements, you don't have any idea how they're going to be. So you have to use your imagination. It's always fun to watch a film and see how it all comes together.
Of course, because your character isn't really reliant on fighting to get himself out of danger. It's almost like a game of poker. It's all about what goes on behind the eyes. Was that quite challenging?
Yeah, that was the biggest challenge. How to keep it real, how to keep the stakes high, how to be thinking of 2 steps ahead of the bad guys and exuding leadership at the same time, how to keep the morale up from the people around you. So that's sort of what my game was all about.
Of course, we've got White House Down, which is another film which is kind of based around a terrorist attack on the White House. And Jamie Foxx is playing the president. I wonder if you two had spoken about playing the president, if you compared notes at all.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we had extensive dinners. Yeah, many late nights. Yeah. No, we didn't. No, I mean, Jamie's a great actor, and he'll play it his way, and we played it ours. I think the movies will probably be significantly different, when it comes down to it.
And this film is very kind of violent, but not in a kind of quite a good way. It's all quite almost like a video game kind of thing. I was just wondering if that was something you could tell from the script, or if that was something that...
No, when you get a script, I mean, a lot of it's in these action's all blocked out because it's just basically describing the action. So, a lot of times you're like, okay, let's get to what as an actor, you're concerned about emotions and, communication and all this sort of stuff. I mean, action, you're like, okay, they'll take care of that. What do I got to do? Plus, listen, it's interesting for an audience to know this. When you have a 30 to 40 second or a minute fight or whatever it is, car chase, in the script it says, and they have a fight, blah blah blah. It's one undescriptive sentence. That one undescriptive sentence takes days to choreograph and days to shoot, and it's dangerous, and there's sweat, blood, and tears involved in it. So when you're reading a script, you just don't get the essence of what it's going to be like. You have other scripts to go on or other movies as templates, but really when you're reading a script, you're looking at character. What's my character? How do I relate to other characters? What's my power position in it? What do I have to feel? What emotions do I have to bring up as an actor? That's what you're really dealing with.
And just finally, of course, the next big one we're going to see is I, Frankenstein. I just wonder if you could tell us a little bit about that. We're all very excited.
Yeah, it's the Monster of Frankenstein. I play the Monster of Frankenstein. Sans bolts in the modern day, and it's about good and evil. A man who's trying to find his soul, find love in his life, and it's an action, kick-ass movie. He does Cali fighting, which is 2 about 3 foot long rattan sticks that he takes care of business with, and so I learned the art of Cali fighting.
Nice. Thank you so much for that. Much
Yep,
appreciated.
pleasure.
Thank you. Cheers.
All the best.